Bright Duty. Every student matters.
Hi dear students, my name is Amit Ajmani and today we will be taking up the next chapter of 9th physics, that is sound. Now the previous chapter was work and energy, and you must have studied work and energy. There we have seen the various types of energy, that is kinetic energy and potential energy. Now in this chapter we will talk about yet another type of energy, that is sound energy. Now what exactly is sound? As I have told you that sound is a form of energy which basically enables us to hear. It creates a sensation of hearing in us. Now in this chapter we will be studying about how sound is produced, how sound is propagated, how do we hear. Fine. Now we have seen in our daily life all the various types of sounds, the sounds of vehicles, the sounds of horns blowing, the sound of machines, the sound of equipment and the sound of people, right? But how exactly are we able to hear that sound? What exactly is sound, in which form it is generated or produced, and how it travels? These are all the contents of this particular chapter. First of all, let us see what exactly is sound. It is a form of energy. Now when we clap our hands, we see that sound is produced. So there is an energy transformation taking place. The muscular energy in our body is getting converted into sound energy, right? Now this sound is produced by some vibratory disturbances, the vibrations. Now what exactly are vibrations? These are the to and fro motion or movement of particles, right? Let us see how sound is produced. We will see it through a particular, we will see it through a video presentation. Let us see how sound is produced. I have told you sound is produced by vibrating bodies. It may be stretched wire or turning fork. Let us see what are the materials required for producing this sound. We require 2 iron nails, then we require a thin nichrome wire about 50 centimeter in length. We will be requiring a V-shaped paper. We require a pith ball and a tuning fork with a rubber hammer. Okay. Now let us see the procedure. What we will do is we will stretch a thin nichrome wire about 50 centimeter long between 2 iron nails tightly. Now when we pluck the wire, a sound is heard. When we place a V-shaped paper on the vibrating wire, it is observed that the paper flies off, thereby proving that sound is produced by vibratory objects. Let us take another activity to prove the same thing. Take a tuning fork. Actually it is a U-shaped fork of steel having a handle. Strike the tuning fork with a rubber hammer and hold it close to the ear. When we hold it close to the ear, we see that a sound is heard. Now take a freely suspended pith ball and touch one end of tuning fork which is already hit with the rubber hammer and it is vibrating. So we will touch the end of the tuning fork with it, right? We will see that the pith ball is constantly hit back like we see in this experiment and demonstration. So this experiment also proves that the sound is produced by a vibrating body. So you have seen with this demonstration how vibratory motion produces sound. Now when we talk about sound, the most pleasant sound to our ears is the sound of the musical instruments, right? Just try to relate all the various musical instruments that you know. How actually various musical instruments produce sound. So after relating, we categorize that this sound may be produced in these 4 ways. The first way is By vibrating the strings. The way we have seen that when we plug the nichrome wire, then the sound was produced by the vibration of those string, that wire. Same is the case we observe in the musical instruments like guitar, like sitar. There what we do is we vibrate the strings, which causes the production of sound, right? Secondly, we can also produce sound by vibrating air. Now when you vibrate air, like we whistle, when we whistle, what we are doing? We are producing sound. How that sound is being produced? That is because of the vibrations caused in the air. The next way of producing sound is by vibrating membranes. All the drum sets and the congo, tabla, all these musical instruments, what we do is they are having the membranes over them. Then when we play them, we vibrate those membranes, which indirectly produces sound. By vibrating plates, as in the case of the bells in the bicycle you have seen, we just vibrate the plates, which causes sound. I am now speaking to you, you are listening to me. I am also producing sound. When you talk, the sound is produced by you. Out of these four ways, which way we humans are producing sound? This is the first way. How come? In relation to the second, how come? We have strings, we have vocal cords in our throat, right? And when we inhale air, then in that case, that air so called vibrates these strings, because of which sound is produced. Got it? Fine. So these are the various ways in which sound can be produced. So we can produce sound by plucking or scratching or rubbing or blowing or shaking different objects. This is how we can produce various types of sound, right? Clear?